Welcome everybody. I'm here with Peter from Hot Labs, one of the most successful projects building on Near and a lot of other chains as well. Peter, welcome.
Hi, Jared.
It's good to see you, man. So let's just jump right in here. You've been building for a long time. Hot Labs is the catch-all. You've got a lot of projects that you've built over times that have evolved and stuff. So for everyone listening, what is Hot Labs now?
So we started Hot Labs last year in 2024, and we started with making this chain abstracted wallet, Hot Wallet, and then we was expanding to multi chains, and we figure out a lot of things we need to fix, and we end up building our own chain abstracted infrastructure. It's based on Near, but it's supported right now more than 14 chains. Including this very specific chains like Ton, Solana, Stellar. Like it supported many non-EVM chains as well. And we as Hot Labs, we're developing a lot of open source product to make the whole internet, whole Web3 chain abstracted. That's the goal. The goal is you don't need gas. You can use your DeFi if you, for most of use cases, especially for like transfers, swaps, things like this. You can use any currency from any blockchain very seamlessly, and there is no any like risk of regulation, risk of blocks, risk of like centralization. That's the vision. Like, and we experienced a lot with like we started last year with a wallet, and we onboarded more than 30 million users for last year. We faced a lot of users problem, especially with like all this multi-chain stuff. And the gas fees, the bridging assets, the joining apps on different chains, like a lot of local specific about like your gas price, your like storage cleaning, like all these things was very, very painful. And we have support of 8 full-time people who are like spend the whole day in chats to like answer user questions. And we probably answer like dozens of thousands support reply. And probably one of a few team who really understand pain of being multi-chain today for regular users. And having this in mind, we kind of really have a vision of like how Web3 should look like in a 2 and 3 years. And that's what like it's not only about the wallet product. It's about some infrastructure we have to build. And I'm very happy that our vision is very aligned with Near One team, for example, with both. And we're building a few great products together with Hot Labs to make this world chain abstracted.
Man, Peter, it is. I mean, we were talking earlier. We've talked a few times over the years, and it's just like seeing how much how much you've shipped. That is just like I can't even explain to people that gets one. You and your team are just really why it's amazing to see how much you guys ship. But also in doing that and shipping so much and iterating, you are now on the front of the wave of this chain abstraction. And it's really good because you are aligning what you said there with Near One, which is the team that builds out a lot of the blockchain stuff, and your team are working together a lot. Can we kind of break down like what your relationship or how you guys are working together to help achieve this vision of chain abstraction?
With Near One, there is like if we're talking about chain abstractions, there's like four main like infrastructure things which need to be done. First of all, is chain signature, right? We need one chain to be able to control assets on another chain, and that's why we work with Near One team very close. We have actually the same code base which we both contribute. We started it a little like earlier, and then they joined in like early this year to like start contribute this stuff too. They're doing amazing job. Like they have very strong engineers, and we're building together this like whole core. So hot protocol core and near chain signature core is like 95% the same. We have a different validation. We have different like use cases on the product part, but we have the shared security audit, which have this shared code base. We contribute there together, and that's what we do like completely together. The other thing, the second big part of infrastructure is bridges. And right now we have a understanding that there's a two type of bridges that need to be done on Near. The one of them is bridges with which called light clients. This is bridge for Bitcoin. This is bridge for Zcash. This is a bridge for Ethereum. This is a very technical, complicated bridge where you have to implement light client for every specific chains. And this bridge is mostly for like people who want to like lock like hundreds of millions of dollars. You want to trust to like very like simple to cryptography. You don't want to trust any infrastructure. You want to only bet for your light clients. That's what the Near One team mostly focus on. And we are making something what we call hot bridge. Hot bridge is actually very flexible, very fast bridge, which support more than 14 chains right now, where we can add support of new chain in a few days because we use this our chain signature nodes, and we just add specific like clients for specific chains, and we make them all connected to near. This is mostly for intense use cases, for meme coin use cases, for use case of like specific fund, fast chain like Ton or Stellar, and like we really follow the market. Like the light class is something very fundamental for very conservative people who like when it comes around like use DeFi for like Zcash. And the hard part, we disrupting the market. Like everything, every cool thing's happening. NFT gifts on Ton. We are like 2 weeks after we will have our NFT bridge there on top of our hard bridge infrastructure. And the Web3 is a lot about narratives, and Near is like has a like usually very conservative, right, and doesn't ship fast. And our like the synergy we found with Near One team is we can actually be in like in top first players in every niche happen and make this niche happens on Near Chain Abstraction. That's the goal. So this is a team where we like work on the same product but different parts.
Hearing that Near One and the Hot Labs team are working together, like that's just like two teams that ship all the time. And you make a really good point with like how you guys find a synergy together. That's a really cool. I'm glad to see that that's how that's going. That's I didn't know that, so thanks for that. That's cool. So let's talk about like a couple examples of that if you have some. Like there's been a couple chains added lately. How did you guys help with that? What was or how did you work together for that?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Like for example, recently there was a new chain like Polygon and Binance Smart Chain, and these chains fully connected with Hot Bridge. That means every wrapped asset on Near secured by Hot Bridge. Like if you want to bridge money to Stellar from or to Polygon from to Binance Smart Chain there and back, it's all happening on top of Hot Bridge. That's like full energy synergy. We iterated our bridge a lot to work very seamlessly with Near intents. And how users can feel it is you don't need Near to bridge your assets on Near. That sounds crazy, but the bridge is designed to be fully trustless. You submit all proof, all your like instruction, what to do with your money on your native chain. Like if you wanna swap money from like Polygon to Binance Smart Chain, you create this transaction on Binance Smart Chain, and then you submit it to our locker. On Near, you don't need anything. We just will use your intent, which you submitted on Base, and we will execute it on Near, and we will withdraw your money to Binance Smart Chain. This integration, that's what we was working for like last 4 months since Denver with Alex team about intents. And that's how we have like so seamless experience. And it's fully trustless for people to use like this chain abstraction stack. And this is just one of examples where like Near Intense team, Near One, and Hot like connecting our pieces of infrastructure together, so users would not feel this is a different infrastructure at all.
The light client, you said it's super technical. What is some like the key technical points of that that make that so unique?
Yeah. So what problems they trying to solve light clients? We are on Near, and we can prove that users deposited $1,000 for us on like Bitcoin, and then we will give them this $1,000 wrap tokens on intents, right? And how most of clients work, they have kind of network of like validators who like check in the state of their Bitcoin and submit, yeah, this transaction exists. And this requires some sort of trust. Like these validators need to be like some sort of like threshold, or they have to be running T's, like a lot of things which need to be done. And on the other side, there's a thing which called light clients. So we actually store the root hash of the whole Bitcoin blockchain on Near. And every block on Bitcoin we submit inside Near. Like not the whole block, we submit headers. It's not that heavy. But inside Near blockchain, we can verify any transaction exists inside Bitcoin blockchain just because we have these proofs of the like we have these headers of the blocks. That's very strong cryptography. It's hard to implement for many chains specifically. It's very hard to do for L2s. It's hard to do for Solana. But for some fundamental chains like Ethereum, Bitcoin, it's possible to do. It's like, and Near is the only place where it's like pretty cheap because light clients store a lot of things in their blockchain state, and Near has charging. It's a perfect match.
What do you think about Near intents and how do you understand the chain abstraction and how it works on Near and all that?
Yeah. Yeah. So Near Intents is a very powerful engine how users from any chain can control their assets on this intense balance. And separately, this is a like swap protocol. So let's start with this engine because for me it's more exciting things to start. So the idea is usually for blockchain, if you have your money on base, you need to have a specific base wallet. You need to have specific sort of transactions you have to sign. And if you have 10 different non-VM chains, you have very specific transaction in each of them. So what Neurintens did, they created one smart contract which support transactions from all these chains, from AVM chains, from Solana, it's ton coming. And that's mean if you have any of this wallet, you don't need near wallet. You don't need like if you have money on Ton, you don't need to create like another wallet. You can use your Ton wallet to control your balance on Intents. That's very powerful stuff because it's a lot about the mass adoption for people, right? Because then, like even in chain abstraction world, someone still store your private key, right? And it's something signs and messages in specific format, and we will one way we force all people go to chain abstraction wallet, which we also do in hot. But we also have a billion people who use like MetaMask, right, and like Phantom. And new intents allow you control your chain abstracted balance with your Phantom wallet because they support all this authorization way from all these chains. That's very powerful engine. We use it a lot on top of hot and near intents where it gas refueled with hot. Hot bridge like deposit withdraw, test nets. If you have your token on test nets, it also works on top of the same engine. Airdrops, mints, and now NFTs coming, and all this stuff we build, we connect to this Omni balance. So if you have Phantom Wallet, you will be able to trade on like our chain abstracted NFT marketplace by submitting proofs from Solana blockchain to this intent balance.
Dude, that's great. That's awesome. Like
That,
the infrastructure you guys are making, it's what?
that's already works. Like
Yeah.
if you will like add the fire drops and hot, there was a special page and you can like claim it from like from having no gas, no near wallet. Like it's very seamless.
Yeah, it is, man. It's man, you got me all hyped because I knew a lot of this stuff was happening, but hearing you explain it, like you're doing like a really great job at like bringing it to like my level. So I appreciate that. But like, because this stuff can get super heady. Or like you guys are basically building the infrastructure for what is soon to be like the DApp ecosystem wave that's coming, Uh
That's two other great thing about Neo 10. The first one, it's fully godless. Like because the engine is work trustless, you don't need to have an account on Neo to submit transaction. You just have your transaction which you created inside Fountain Wallet. And like there's a layer who submitted all on Neo 10, and it's very easy for users. And second part, they have their own swap engine. This is a separate stuff. There is like swaps. Actually, Neo intents can work with any sort of swaps. It can be solvers, it can be order book, it can be MM in the future maybe. And right now it's only one of swap ways, which is like kind of very like first iteration. But now the team's working on order book. And when order book is done and we have all this powerful chain abstracted engine, we can actually will have stack to build our own hyperliquid, and not just hyperliquid. It's gonna be way more secure because some assets secured by like light client and like which is very secure, and some other assets secured by hot bridge, which is like open source T and chain signature infrastructure. It's not like centralized with hyperliquid where you have the engine and they just execute something you don't know like what's going on there. And like seeing all these things coming together and like seeing like how like actually like hot connected here, and like actually make all the system work is very incredible.
it's actually I think Intense is like the juggernaut that is like it's just gonna it's everybody's gonna use it in the future.
And that engine, like let's start with like the swap stuff. They have like it's V1 and like there's a lot of people, a lot of discussion on Twitter about like benefits and like problems with this swap engine. But this asset management stuff is very great, and like I think it's very fresh. I haven't seen this stack before in other chains, and that's what we like mainly focus to all our infrastructure be connected and work on top of intent. And last 4 months, again, we migrate. Like first of all, last year we made many of this by our team internally. Like they sold fire drops, gas refuel, bridges, working above our own Omni balances. And for last 4 months, we migrated to connect all this to intent. So right now, there's like all, and they also migrated from their bridges to our hot bridge. So that's like a lot of work internally to like all these things actually work like with each other to like power each other, not to create like parallel infrastructure. That's a lot. We actually after our like Denver conversation, we had like 4 months ago.
So, and I'll honestly, man, like I think fire drops. I know, dude. From a marketing standpoint, I love the fire drops. Those things
We
are.
have more than 10 million drops claimed for the day on chain on near.
That's wild. That's congrats. It's a very clever mechanism, and it's probably one of the better, simpler use cases for like the Telegram stuff that I've ever used. Like the flow of it's so simple. It's really nice. Okay, let's shift a little bit. What is the hot Omni token, and what is the roadmap for integration with near intents?
Yeah, yeah. So I already a little touched the roadmap on our previous step. So every token, like how Omni works, how Omni token is token which you create with Omni Bridge, hot Omni Bridge. If you have your Solana, you can send your Solana to a special locker smart contract. And this locker smart contract state actually can be verified by the hot chain signature network. And once you deposit money on your locker contract, you can mint this Solana on Near. This is very simple. And you can swap this Solana to USDC from Base, and then you can burn this USDC Base USDC on Near, and you will be able to claim the real Base USDC on Base chain. These tokens which you create on Near, we call Hot Omni, and they actually one-to-one backed by some assets on original chains and lockers, and they're secure by a Hot protocol. And the integration, yeah.
Yeah, let me unpack this a little bit. So, where will I be able to launch a hot Omni token?
It's not to launch. It's you have your token on Solana, your meme coin, and you want your token to be available from all chains. So what you do, you create Omni token, you send it to our locker, you mint Omni token, and this Omni token is minted inside your intent balance. Like this is a hot bridge, and hot bridge mint this token on your intent balance. Like these things connected in like same transaction. You mint your token, you deposit into intent balance, and now this token from intent balance can be bought from like users with Ethereum wallets for Ethereum, from like for Sui wallets for Sui, for Ton wallet for Ton, and like your token from Solana when it became hot Omni token, it became available for trade for every wallet users, every chain users for like any currency in a single transaction.
Say you have a billion tokens
Yeah,
on like your example Solana. Do you have to allot like 100 million goes into that, or the second you put any on there, do all the tokens become an Omni token?
it depends how much you want it to be traded. Like it's kind of you provide this multi-chain liquidity. So when you mint Omni token, you actually put some assets to this multi-chain pool, and they become available to be tradable on all chains. And yeah, and later when order book is done, you will be also be able to create like perp for your hot Omni token or like another very like landing stuff, and it will be available for any token from any chain. Once you deposit to hot Omni, you immediately unlock all this multi-chain DeFi, with like which will be available for like all users on different chains. That's very fantastic. Like actually, making an Omni token is like converting your like local specifically chain project to like very chain abstraction. Like right now, any wallet, and like it's not how you have to bridge, right? It's like if you connected to the bridge, right? Users from EVM wallet still have to bridge money to Solana, connect and make transaction on Solana. Like it doesn't make any he need gas on Solana, register tokens, clear storage. It doesn't make things simpler. And if you come to Discord of Sui chat and send them link for your Solana token, like they're gonna like do like but if it's an Omni token, you send them a link for Sui website where they can connect their Sui wallet and buy this Omni token on their intent, but they don't know about it because they make transaction on like they sign transaction in their Sui wallet.
So they're buying it with whatever pair. They can buy Sui, or say they have Sui USDC. They can just buy the token with Sui USDC and it all gets done in the back end.
Yeah. And they also control it. Like it's not some like centralized entity where like they ask us to buy and we hold it on our balance. It's fully decentralized. Like they sign actual intent. I want to buy like this Solana token for my Sui. I send my CUI to the locker with this message, and magic is executed, right? The CUI is breached, the message is executed. You have your money on intents, which you control by your CUI wallet. There's no any middleware like login, password, Google Mail, or like it's control. It's Solana token Omni balance, which fully connected to your private key from your CUI wallet.
Wow. That's wild. I think the so you walking me through it, I get it. Is it gonna be one of those things where you have to buy it on certain exchanges? Like you'll have to go to like a near intense swap exchange, or will it be in wallets? Like, is this just gonna be something that in like 5 years from now, it's just how you do everything?
Oh, are you talking about the interface for user, right?
Yeah. Let's take this to the users, right? So the interface
Oh
for the
yeah.
users, what does that look like?
There's a two different teams who work on like with two different vision. Our team and my team vision is we want to build interface like Hyperliquid. We want to have hot exchange, which called Hex. Hot exchange Hex. And this will be similar to Hyperliquid product where you have like your all token traded and like an interface, and you can connect your Solana wallet and trade multi-chain tokens. And there's another approach which Alexei team working on. This is called one-click swap. One-click swap idea is you don't really need like your special interface. Any wallet can connect it, and you can just buy it from any wallet. And it's all stuff going to be on background, a lot of backend part, and like that's part is like decentralized. Like the one-click swap is like nice for developers, but it's like it's been done to work on background. Like if I'm coming to Trust Wallet and nice guys connect our like very powerful swap exchange on intents, I will go to one-click swap. But if I want to onboard people to my chain abstraction app, I will go to hot. I will go to hot. I will make this interface where people can connect and see what's going on intents. And we also it's very different way how we connect intents as well, because we trying to like all our things we trying to directly connect like uh, we users control his omni balance directly. Like we never try to have a middleware. We don't try to like send money to us. We will deposit it for you because it's simpler. We do a lot of like stack. Like it's a little longer. Users like transaction. We have to very carefully track it. But in every second, user is the only person who control his money. And this interface, we can build all that. This interface will be live, and user will able to go back there and like withdraw money from their intents. The approach which Alexei team do, they say, "This is my address. Send me money. I will take care about it." And like that's a lot of like part of custodial. It also has their own point, like for some use cases, because it's also way easier for integrate because we spend like nights to actually make things work. It's not as simple as it sounds, unfortunately, right now. But the result, we have this like truly chain abstraction system, and we are betting on this approach. We are betting for people who will understand what's going on, or like at least a little, like who will care about the security part, who will deposit it like millions of dollars through our interface, and who don't want to send $1 million to like address to like wait until someone will take care about it. Who want to make sure they know where money are right now, and not only this, we also believe this like architecture need to be more like robust, right? So if everything happen, front end can take care about it. We don't have like team of. That's also the reason why we only have team of 9. We don't need team of like very big team to like carefully track all these deposits, withdraw like stuff. Trying to make it more based on raw cryptography and robust.
That's why you guys can ship so fast. You go like from idea to execution to shipping, and like your delta's super short. But it does sound like both sides can maybe be for different users too.
Actually, the main use case for one-click swap is for wallets. If I'm a wallet developer, I don't want to like create like connect this like SDK with a lot of code. I want to just ask API, get my address, send users money there, and have a signed deal with Alexei to make sure this guy will not, scam my users. That's what these teams want, and that's the best, great services which they provide for them.
Awesome. So Peter, we've really talked about like where Hot Labs is now, where it came from, and all the chain abstraction working with Near One and with Intense Team. What are Intense? How you're using it? What the Hot Omni token is? Like we've really hit a lot of really interesting points. So if you can, what does the future of Hot Labs look like? Maybe 1 year and beyond.
Yeah. Well, the vision for Hot Labs is to create this infrastructure And onboarding a lot. Our mission is to create this tech to make the Web3 chain abstracted, and then make Web3 chain abstracted, which is way more complicated part because it's a lot about the interfaces, the features, the speed, the onboarding. Like that's a lot of work coming up front. And the piece of this, like big engine power of this onboarding, will be the hot. It's live for like a little more than a year right now. People can mine it in an app, and that's hot is a something what powers a whole this chain abstracted infrastructure. And we don't have any exact news about it, but as I mentioned, New Intent's working on the order book, and we are very aligned with their progress in this direction. So our vision is that we will be able to use like hot labs resources and like potential hot resources to incentivize projects to onboard more people, more liquidity to this chain abstraction part, and then like we will use all this like volume, all this activity on this chain abstraction to reward people who contributed and who like hold code, who like build with us for all this journey. Well, that's my vision about it. But that's what we all want to come to.
Yeah, Peter. Wow. It is really cool. We've been talking for over like the last 3 years, and I'm hoping we get to talk for many more because of just all the stuff you're building. And then, in 5 years from now, we'll have a talk, and it'll just be like, man, the whole world is using chain abstracted stuff that you've built, which I see it going that way. Well, thank you so much for like taking the time to chat, and really thank you for all the work that you and your team are doing. Right, like as just a fan of Near, it's like really cool to know that the Near One team, the Intense team, and you and the Hot Labs team are all working like together to build basically the only chain that can be chain abstracted this way. So thank you so much, man.
Yeah, yeah. I was happy to share.
Thank you so much for being here, Peter.
Thank you. Was happy to talk to you today.
All right, man. Have a good day.